Many are hopeful for better times ahead with the change of government. We asked Areca Capital CEO Danny Wong about the country's prospects post-GE14 and how he thinks the Pakatan Harapan-led government has fared so far. Now, many are optimistic about hitting the fiscal deficit target of 2.8% of GDP. So what is your take on this?
I think with the new government, the 2.8% is achievable. So the few things that we look at, how can we replace certain taxes with another one, and how can we improve the efficiency and the productivity to make sure that the 40 billion or so on the deficit is remain there.
So right now the government is looking for more ways to pay through debts. According to Lim Guan Eng, it's more than 1 trillion ringgit. Of course, Tabung Harapan is not going to help much, right? So where is the government going to look for revenue to pay debts?
So the way is actually to rationalize the debt so that we don't have to pay the high cost of the borrowings. So one of the ways actually the visit of the last visit of the Prime Minister to rationalize the debt with the Japanese loan. That would be one of the ways, so that we don't have to pay high interest. And then in terms of revenue, there are a few other ways to do it. Okay, of course you cannot replace another tax with this tax, also that is actually taxing people. So one of the things actually we can achieve is actually make business more viable, and therefore GLC will get more dividends from these GLCs. The other thing is actually to encourage business to grow, then the tax revenue from the business is better. Of course, there are other things like, we can even pay down some of the state holding, like Khazanah state in certain companies. Especially those companies require high capital but low yield.
These 3 months we will see very strong private growth because of the GST being zero rise. People are spending so much on big ticket items like cars and houses. So will this actually sustain the country for the rest of the year?
Actually, looking at the window of this 3 months, so-called July to September, before the SST being implemented, and this is a window where people will spend money. But go beyond that, maybe you can see sudden spike in the consumption. But then looking at the consumption index, even without this thing, the consumption index start to rise. So I think after the change of government, people are more positive now. And things like the business environment, the consumer sentiment is actually going to be better. So yeah, no doubt the one spike you cannot sustain, but the trend is actually will be better in future.
But things are going to be more expensive come September. What kind of percentage do you expect for SST this coming September?
We think that 5 to 6% is reasonable, which is we used to have that, you see. But that as I say, is a balancing act. It's between to find some revenue in place of the GST. At the same time, have to balance out so that the people here are not so burdensome because of the tax.
The most severe sector that we have seen that got affected after the general election is construction sector.
Yes.
Right, because government has actually scrapped so many projects, like we have seen HSR being scrapped and MRT3 as well. They are talking about taking off VCRL projects. So if that's the case, how would this actually hurt the construction sector as a whole?
As of now, the construction sector is hurt because of sentiment. It's also because of the expectation where certain companies will get certain contract from the big mega projects. As far as I'm concerned, it is still depends on individual companies. Even with all this contract may be lesser, but the problem is actually now it's more brighter in terms of the outlook. There are less corruption. There are less wastages and leakages. With all this taken away, they can hope to maintain that business and also the margin, and things will be very easy because it's the ease of doing business, it's a speedier time to market, transparency. These are the factors. More productivity will drive them even to the higher height. So with this, I will see it's a short-term pain, but long-term will be good for those really based on their merit, on the delivery, and not those of it is based on relationship or so-called chronism.
We have seen so much money outflow, foreign outflow going out from this country, especially since the beginning of the year, even before general election. So if that's the case, what will be the catalyst for foreign investors to come back here and put money in this country?
We need visitors, we need businesses. So, but we are doing a good thing. We are having a very bright future, a lot of hopes there. So one of the things that as I mentioned, we have a policy clarity. The clarity must be here, in order to drive the operations. And there must be also a willingness to change. And of course, after the recent sell down, we see more value, the emerging of certain company with a low value, low price, but the dividend policy is still there. The yield is good, the prospect is also good. So it could be the time to come in now or the next 1-2 months or so.
So when you talked about the equity market, is probably a good time for them to enter now, right? Which sector are you looking at?
I think economy will be doing quite well. Even if it's not 5-6%, it will be 4-5%. With that, I think corporate will do better in terms of earnings. This one, with proxy to the economy, will be the bank. And then the consumption is also another one.
So what's your view on Pakatan Harapan's government first 100 days in terms of their fiscal management, their institutional reform? Are they doing their job, basically?
So far, so good. I can see a lot of things, but of course there will be some criticism here and there. But as usual, there's no perfect situation. You cannot please everybody. So long as we are seeing that they're progressing, they're doing their job, I think it's okay.